Hey everyone, welcome to GraphQL World. My name is Vince Ning, and I run the show GraphQL World, where we're here to talk about people building cool projects with this awesome new technology called GraphQL. So what is it? For those who don't know, it is an applications layer query language to help you build better client-side apps. And it's this new kind of REST 2.0, if you will. So today we have here Ivan and Roman from Ukraine. And they're here to talk about how they're using GraphQL in their day-to-day lives and their work. So welcome. You want to introduce yourselves real quick?
Yeah, hello. So yeah, my name is Roman. This is Ivan. So we actually we are working as API consultants under a brand APIs Guru. You see, it's not a company, just a brand. Yeah,
cool.
And we are working around API tooling. We used to work a lot with Swagger, Open API, maybe you heard about this, yeah.
Yep.
And recently we started working with GraphQL, because we like it.
Nice. Yeah. So how did you guys hear about it?
You want long story or short story?
The short story.
Okay. Anyway, so actually I and one worked.
Yeah, we heard about it on GitHub. Start using GraphQL.
Okay.
So yeah, we see the hype about this technology, and we thought we need to spend some time learning about it, and we see how it solves some problem for tooling afters.
Yeah.
So we mainly write tooling, so there is special features in GraphQL that help us to write better tooling.
Cool. So you guys use it just for yourself for APIs Guru, and then decided you guys wanted to join the whole GraphQL community because it was so awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So what kind of cool projects have you guys done so far? I know you guys have worked on GraphQL Voyager that's gotten huge popularity, and we're actually thinking about using it as well. In terms of scaffold. So you want to tell me a little bit about that, what you guys do nowadays with GraphQL?
Before that, we have other projects. They're mostly Swagger related, so we have biggest catalog of Swagger files for public API. Roman worked a lot on documentation engine for based on Swagger files, but in the end of the year, 2016, we started playing with GraphQL mostly. And our first project, that we publicly release is Voyager.
Yep.
Actually, we wanted just to learn GraphQL with this project, but in fact, we learned how to build graphs and all that stuff.
It's a whole conceptual shift in terms of the way you think of APIs. And it's kind of cool. I guess you worked on the open APIs, building a bunch of Swagger docs and stuff before, right? So now this kind of resolves that situation where you don't need to build documentation anymore because of introspection. So is that kind of the first thing that really caught your eye? Or how did you, what's your favorite part about GraphQL?
Introspection part. Because in open API world, there is REST API and there is Swagger file. And they're separate. And in many cases, Swagger file are written by hand or generated from commands. So in a lot of time, it's out of sync. And basically, plus it can be invalid. So there is nothing that power API backend. On API backend, they don't use a Swagger file. So my guy want to generate documentation and it's broken, but his API is working, and he say my Swagger file is correct, but it's actually broken, and it's a lot of stuff, a lot of. So when we saw that you can actually acquire a GraphQL server, any GraphQL server, you can receive a description of everything of entire API, always up to date, always in sync, and it's powering validation on a server. So if it's incorrect, entire API incorrect. It's not separate entities. So we like this part a lot.
For me, I like especially simplicity of introspection because it's like both complex and simple. It's pretty like not so hard to work with it, and also I like everything has a type. Everything is typed.
Yeah, the type system is nice.
It's awesome feature, and each type has a name. It's better.
Yeah, exactly. That's really cool. That's kind of one thing that really drew me to the platform, or drew me to the technology as well. Just the fact that the type system is so powerful. It's kind of like all the benefits in terms of like introspection and being able to like query, the queryability, the flexibility from the client side. I think that all are great features, but it's driven by the original idea of the type system that allows you to do all these things, which is really cool. And it's like security of your API as well, like right at the API layer. That's kind of cool. So yeah, how many projects you guys run, like a dev shop, right? And how many projects have you done with GraphQL by now?
So far, it's two. One is Voyager, and another one we actually still haven't done it. But we are on the last stages of development.
And we will show it today.
Yeah, we will show it today.
Yeah, working prototype.
Cool. And then what kind of stacks have you worked with? Is it just like the JS implementation of GraphQL or other flavors?
Yeah, basically it's JS implementation of GraphQL. Also, we use TypeScript, and we like that GraphQL JS has typing, script typing, so.
Cool. And then what kind of like data sources and stuff do you work with typically? Databases?
Actually, we are working basically on tooling, so we don't work with databases. More from tooling perspective.
Yeah, we try to run our own APIs. We don't have maybe in future we will build some GraphQL catalog. For example, we have a simple markdown list of GraphQL APIs. Maybe one day we will build GraphQL APIs, which return new GraphQL APIs.
Cool, awesome. Well, you said you had a demo, right? For today. You guys want to go ahead with that?
Yeah, would be great. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, can you see it?
Yep.
Oops. Okay, so first we'll start from GraphQL Voyager. It will be
nice.
I believe that audience already saw it.
This is popular demand here for sure.
Yeah, quick demo. We actually didn't expect such popularity. We just posted it to Hacker News just for fun. Actually, we didn't expect this.
Oh my god.
Here we have few presets, and you can actually use your own introspection. Here you have button to copy introspection query. Okay, so I'll start by Star Wars API. So here it is. Okay, nice feature you can select. For example, here is the graph. Actually, it is the graph behind the GraphQL.
Yep.
So nice features that you can select a node and see all the connections, and all the connected nodes are highlighted, and all not connected are shadowed.
Got it. So each of those, so basically you generate each of those tables if they implement the node interface, right? And then each of those is a relation connection.
Each is a relation. You can select relation. You will see documentation on it. Actually, if compare it to graphical, this documentation panel, it has a few minor improvements. The one is we show fields right here, so you can extend and you can here the types. And
that's really cool.
I'm not sure if there are any fields with descriptions, but descriptions is displayed also. I will show another schema.
For each of the input arguments.
Yeah, input arguments. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Another. Nice. Okay. Another nice feature is you can skip relay, all related types. You can skip them. For comparison, for example, this is with
Star Wars.
Star Wars. With skipped relay, and this is without skipping relay. So it's much bigger.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bigger. Yeah, and this is these types are not essential to understand the structure of your data. So we just implemented this quick setting like skip relay, and you can see this clean graph.
Cool. Yeah.
Plus relay connection marked with special.
With special icon, so you can understand this is a relay connection. And here as well is relay connection. You see.
And then, like, are those clickable too? So if you click on like all species, and will it go to the documentation as well, or is it only one direction? Like if you click on the documentation, it'll focus on this. Oh, so it does go there. Cool. Awesome. And then, like, what have you seen like people use this for so far? Have a lot of people pick this up, put it into their projects?
Actually, we are not sure how people but actually, as I say, we didn't expect this because we're not sure how to use it. It's like, actually, initial idea with this was to build like visual query builder. But then we hit into the like issues with building graphs with all that stuff.
So you built the graph.
Actually, it is actually a rocket science to almost a rocket science to draw these lines to not intersect these.
Oh my god!
To do layout.
To do layout, it's really hard. So we cheated and we used with JS. It is a script and compilation of
C code.
GraphVis from C. You know.
Got it.
It's a software from the 90s.
From Bell Labs.
Wow. Yeah, I imagine this is pretty hard to build, like in terms of the UI, just because like there's so much going on, and you don't want the lines to overlap or anything either.
But we decided, we won't build like a visual schema builder. We just represent this API as a graph, and this will be like the first MVP like this.
Cool.
So basically, we see this as a base for another tools, from new tools. For example, let's say changelog on the graph when you
like version control.
That's
actually
field propagated and it will be highlighted on the graph, something like that.
Got it. Oh wow, that's actually really cool. Like we actually run into that problem a lot in terms of like how we manage our schemas, just because when you have large teams, managing your schema, things change all the time, and then you want to know who did what and what broke and why. And I think this would be great, just because like you can actually see what changed instead of like looking through like a Git commit and saying like how many pluses, how many minuses, and where it was. This is probably a better way to do it. And then also you said, go ahead.
Meanwhile, I love the GitHub API, and you see it's huge.
Oh, this is the GitHub one?
You see how many lines is here. It is without relay.
Oh my god. This kind of like looks like, it reminds me of like a subway system, like a really complex subway system.
It's really complex.
So then you also said like the other direction this could go is like a visual query builder?
It was the initial idea. We are not still sure how to implement this, but this is idea.
I think that'd be really neat. That's cool. Yeah, we're definitely thinking about using this as well, putting it into Scaffold to be able to visualize schemas, because people seem to like that idea, especially when they're like trying to learn how to use GraphQL. It's called GraphQL, so people immediately think about everything in terms of graphs, but then when it comes to the documentation explorer, everything's like flat. Everything's like, you have to traverse this tree of like, it's almost like a directory structure. But then, you're supposed to think of it like this in terms of a graph. But so I think that's why this thing was so big in the community, was because everyone needed this.
So another small feature I just remembered what this is. You can change routes. For example, you want to see this graph. Having commit as a route. So
you start with this root node.
It will show a bit another graph, smaller.
A smaller graph, okay.
Because some types are not referenced from root.
And plus you can see that some types can reference itself. It's also a cool feature to see visually.
Oh, cool.
Loops. And here is an example how we document parameters. You see, input
cool.
parameters. Yeah.
And then
it is like ideal. You see, like ideal, but not ideal.
Oh wow. And there's like a little tray that pops out too. And then can you click in and it'll like traverse too, like graphical? Pops out. Oh, well, those are scalar types, right? Or are those?
Yeah, it's color types. Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Okay.
That's really neat. I when I first saw this, I was like, dang, this is so sweet.
Okay, great to hear that.
Yeah. And then did you say you had some other demo that you wanted to show off as well?
Another demo. It's coming. Okay, Ivan.
We're both working on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you start special server in the console. And
so basically it is mocking tool. Yeah. So for mock your API.
Okay.
For people who don't know, there is a proposed feature for GraphQL called IDL. So it's a way for you to describe your graph not in JavaScript code, not in any language, but in special form.
Mm-hmm.
Officially, it's not yet a part of GraphQL spec, but all major implementations have it.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought it's a great opportunity to create mocking tool. So you write like simple description of your type, so query, it's like your root type for your query.
Mm-hmm.
And like for this demo, we create simple one. So we have event with event topic, and we have a cast, people who like watching this video, and we can mock this API. And so we click save, switch to console, and yeah, actually it's leftover from our internal test. So when we start graphical, everything is working. So we have event type. Plus, it's not limited to graphical. You can call it from a code. It's like server running on your machine, on your local host.
Mm-hmm.
So you can try to write some like complicated application to test things.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just building queries.
Mm-hmm.
Simple one. Yeah, so I run in it and I receive fake data. But, like we don't have any additional information.
Yeah.
We can fake a data based on first name.
So they're all
okay. Try it. So it's basically string, integer, booleans. It's very simple.
Got it.
The cool part about this, another feature which GraphQL support is a thing called directives. They look like decorators in some languages.
Mm-hmm.
So we create special directive called fake,
mm-hmm.
and we have multiple types. And one of the types is first name. So we just use first name.
Mm-hmm.
And similarly, we
type.
Yeah, you can guess the name of the second type, last name. And yeah, we have even like type for addresses, street address.
It's actually ported from Faker.js, this link.
Yeah. And
okay, it's not fake.
Yeah, if for example we don't have fake for gender,
mm-hmm.
Instead we can use example directive.
We don't have gender, yes.
So we create another directive called example, and you specify possible values, and it will randomly choose one of them.
Oh, cool. So this is like you're basically mocking the DB through these directives.
Plus, if you want to specify exact value, you can just specify one value.
Got it.
And like GraphQL around the world, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's save and voila.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
Plus, every time data is different, array size is different.
Oh, wait, so where is that data coming from there?
It's Faker.js.
That library. Okay, cool.
Faking data, yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, that's really neat. So then this is a way to kind of like test your schemas and stuff, right? Just kind of live. And then it'll like stub the data. It'll stub the data in there for you with Faker.
Yeah, like this.
Cool.
Yeah, and plus we live in Ukraine, so if you write some local services, you can even mock Ukrainian data. So if you want first name, Ukrainian first name, so you can specify locales, and there is like a lot of locales for different languages, and you see like first name in Cyrillic.
Wow, that's cool. So then, what other like directives do you have? There's @fake, and then there's examples. I mean, I know GraphQL provides like the @live defer stream that they're thinking about releasing. There's like skip include. What else have you added in here? Yeah,
there is two types of directives. There is directives you can use inside your queries, and you like correctly name all of them. And there is directives which you can use in IDL,
in definitions, like
in the schema like this.
Yeah. So we added only these two directives, but for this tool, it's I believe enough. Another feature about this tool we will show you.
Yeah, and plus we want to in future we want to add like directives for specifying mean, max value, things like that. You know, some
for constraints.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah,
and then what was the inspiration for this project?
Very simple. So you know, like we don't have our own GraphQL API. And that's why we don't understand how GraphQL servers are implemented. In Voyager, we only work with introspection, so we never understand how resolvers and all this stuff around GraphQL working. So when people ask us questions about GraphQL, we didn't know the answers. For us, it's limited our ability to write tools. So we decided to write something.
Now we will build something on backend, like.
So
we have another mode for this tool. It is proxy mode. You can extend your existing API and like this.
So we start the local version of Star Wars.
We have the Star Wars API running here on this port. So we started the server specifying like API which like server to proxy.
URL to GraphQL server. So we have like vanilla Star Wars API, and we have query for it. So basically, it's probably different.
It's wrong. It's wrong port.
Like the wrong port number.
Like this. I lost the query, but I have it here. I have it in notes.
No, online demos. It's always.
No, I don't have. Okay, we'll build our from scratch.
Okay.
I already have some. I don't know, maybe I have it somewhere.
Like build simple one from.
Okay, I know. Like that. Here it is.
So we just
like that.
Okay. Cool.
So it's simple query. We query like person number 4. It appears to be Darth Vader, and we query like film or title, and we like query a few characters of this film, like Luke Skywalker and C-3PO.
Right.
But through two different paths. In one case, we just get it from person directly by ID, and the second one from a film.
So the main idea of tool is you have already an API and you want to test some new endpoint. Or for example, front-end team want to add some field. And so this tool will help them to just mock this field, and they don't need to go to backend team and say, okay, we need this field. They can just mock this, test it, and then they can say, okay, we have this. We just played with this tool, implemented it for us. So we will show how to do it.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to see a demo. So basically, this is really good for like development then. So like if you're just like a front end engineer, a lot of the time in like the REST in traditional like REST APIs, like you'd have to go talk to the back end guys, try to figure out, spec it out, what functional design you need, what technical design you need, and then like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, you finally have your API that you can start building your front end for. So this is kind of like your way of saying a front-end engineer can go like mock this up and then show the back-end guy what he needs.
Yeah, that's
Okay, cool. Yeah,
It's
yeah. Do you want to share?
help, to help to do like iterative improvements.
Yeah. Cool.
So leverage extend keywords of GraphQL. One can tell about it.
Yeah, in ideal, they have like you can write ideal, describe a new server, and you can extend it and add some additional fields to it, to every type. And you can add additional types, and you can add additional fields.
Wow, that's really cool. Wait, so then, do you want to try also if you extend it? Right now, you just extended person with pet, right? So earlier you had pet there, and then the linter said that pet was not a field.
Yeah, we can show you this in original graphical. Pet. Yeah, pet URL. We don't have this. You see.
Right, right. And then if you save it though.
Yeah, if we save it, pet URL. We open this graphical.
Yeah.
We have pet, but we have pet URL. You see?
Yeah. Wow.
We wired this, and voila, pet URL is.
Cool, and then that uses Faker to populate the data, right?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. So then, does it work in the other graphical, or does it only work in this graphical environment?
It works in actually. We are starting server. Server is here, like it is GraphQL endpoint, just usual GraphQL endpoint with GraphQL Express or Express GraphQL, with graphical enabled, so we can open this. So it is like a usual graphical, but
oh, cool.
Yeah. So you can write application like, for example, you want to test some theory or like try to new layout on your front-end application or mobile application, and you can use Faker to fake this data to create this layout and test. Do you really need this additional info, or you really need this additional connection?
Yeah. Oh wow. So yeah, actually, this is really powerful. So I mean, like, in my mind now, I'm thinking like a front-end engineer can technically build an entire application with fake data. And then, like, just at once he knows what the schema should look like, tell the backend engineer to go make the schema or something like that, or he can just make the schema all at once, and then that'd be much quicker. Oh wow, that's really cool. Usually it's like like, how do you see that going then? So like, I mean, usually it's like the backend engineer who like works with like the data and the database, managing like the data schema, who kind of like configures what APIs or what the schema should look like for the front-end engineer. And then now, like, the front-end engineer kind of has the power to be able to dictate what the schema should look like. So like, how do you see that working out in like the workplace? What have you experienced this yourself?
Yeah, it's actually an interesting question. We quit our jobs a couple of years ago. And on the last job, I was backend engineer implementing like features, features similar to introspections.
Yeah. And
Roman was front-end engineer trying to build the UI on top of what I expose.
Yeah.
So we see this picture, from two different sides.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So wait, but then that was before you had this tool, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah. Go ahead.
So we don't, right now we're just learning things with GraphQL and try to learn and do something interesting at the same time.
Yep.
This time, for example, it was challenged to make a proxy, like some complicated things.
Yeah.
And we will share it and we will try it. Like people, market will decide. Open source is also a market economy.
Yeah.
If people like your tool, they like start and share URLs.
Yeah. So we're going to release it, I believe, on the beginning of the next week. We have a few issues before to fix.
Okay. You mean this tool?
Yeah, this tool. This tool is not released. All we have is just nice looking logo. That's it.
Nice. So then this is coming out next week, you said?
Yeah, like next week. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sweet. And then I guess like at the end of this, it'd be great to like have all the links collected together for like GraphQL Voyager, this, and I guess the other tool. I guess that was the Faker tool, right? And then is there the one where you like combine the two different APIs? Is that's a separate repository?
No, it's the same tool. It's Faker. It just exists in two modes.
Okay.
One is
Extension.
fake.
One was is with and another mode is without this option. So it will just work in
two modes.
Cool. And then you can still go to the old API at 51331.
Yeah, you can. You will have this fake field there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So start two servers for you. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
No, it's not starting. You should start your own server, so you can use it on live server. For example, we can send GitHub API live.
Yeah.
So right now we can inject a pet image into your
commit
message, or for example your profile.
Here you just say which server to proxy.
Yeah.
To use as source data.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
and then it'll extend the rest with Faker.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's live data. So you have already everything populated. It's hard to fake complicated API.
Yeah.
Try to GitHub with like realistic data. It's not possible probably.
Yeah.
So you can easily inject it. And cool part is that if you extend the person, it's available from every path in the graph.
Yeah.
So you can get it from a film, from a planet, from everything.
Yeah. Oh,
Send it.
Yeah. And then what would be cool is if you take this and then put it in GraphQL Voyager to have that show the extended schema in the visual format. So you can combine all three tools.
You can do it right now because you can run introspection query on the proxy.
On the localhost. Yeah.
It will show. Yeah.
Cool. Neat. Yeah, that's awesome. What do you guys have in plan for the future? So you guys are focused on building these tools now, or do you guys still do like consulting work as well?
We try to do consulting work.
But now we have one client for like around Swagger Open API, but we still don't have any clients around GraphQL.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Do you try to get all your clients to use GraphQL now instead of
like this. This is the idea behind why we do this tooling. Yeah.
Cool. It would be interesting actually if you can combine those two. If you take the Swagger Open API spec, like the documentation, and be able to and make that into a GraphQL schema. Wouldn't that be neat? Like a translation layer?
You had this idea, yeah.
You had this idea? Of course you had this idea.
Yeah, considering this right now.
Huh?
Yeah. No, the biggest problem is two different technology. In REST, you have just endpoints. GraphQL, we have a graph. So if we do it fully automatically, we will create not really graph. We will create GraphQL powered REST. REST powered GraphQL.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's no way to describe the tree structure in REST.
Yeah, it's definitely
relations.
It's tricky.
Yeah, so I think maybe that will be like some UI in which user can drag and connect like this, but we like assure this will be extremely hard to implement this to create this tool. So we are considering.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe like a UI where they can fill in the rest what the computer cannot automate. That could be cool, like with connections and stuff like that.
Plus, we want to use this opportunity for advertisement. If you have idea for GraphQL tooling, no matter how crazy it is, we can help you to implement it.
Yeah.
You can help us to implement it.
Yeah, honestly, it seems like you guys are like GraphQL tooling whizzes, just because like GraphQL Voyager looked like the biggest pain to make in terms of like UI, and it looks so nice.
Yeah. Not so nice as we wanted it to look there, but not so bad.
It's he's perfectionist.
He's a perfectionist. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. What's the future for like GraphQL Voyager? Are you guys just using it for your clients or to demonstrate, or are you guys like trying to build out more features for it as well?
Actually, right now we already did big refactor because we did it like just quick coding. Yeah, now we have refactored it.
Mm-hmm.
We have published it as a library finally. It's only a release candidate so far. Yeah, but we are fixing a few issues. Some guys who want to integrate it into their tools, they are asking and opening issues. I don't know. Next steps, we'll add a few small features which are missing right now. It is search for types. It's missing really, and maybe we will add quick settings. These settings choose skip relay, not skip relay, as floating button. And then I'm not sure. We still not have master plan for that. Maybe we will try to build something on top of that.
Probably a query explorer.
Yeah, probably query explorer. Yeah, this is one of ideas.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it could be cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you put your query and you can click on some places in query and you get it visualized in the graph where you are, like that.
Oh, that'd be cool. And then you can highlight which fields were called and stuff like that. Would it be something interesting where you could also add types yourself directly into the schema from the UI?
Right now it would be hard because we use this Swiss.js tool. It is C++ or even C tool, from NTs. So it's actually slow because I believe it is fast.
Super fast.
It's super fast, but it's hard task to build this graph and wire these connections correctly. I believe it's
For example, to render a graph for GitHub, it's around 10 seconds. So if every time you add something, we need to render it completely. We cannot render.
So we have a few crazy ideas how to hack this. We will try. We are still not sure if that idea would work. But we will check.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, it seems like an awesome project that I think could go in all sorts of different directions. Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for showing me all the demos. I didn't expect to have all those demos. I thought it was just going to be GraphQL Voyager. But honestly, I like the Faker tool. I'm going to try it out myself when you guys release it next week. Is it going to be on Hacker News?
Probably yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, best of luck with that. Thanks for hopping on the show.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
See you.